I sat down this week with Bonnie Blue. She answered every question.
Honestly, I couldn't believe how much sex was in it.
Your average vibrator really only needs 2 speeds.
Hang on, back to the bloke with the big dick.
Saucy Secrets.
Welcome to Saucy Secrets. MC, lovely to see you again.
It's the best part of the week, honestly. You know what I mean? A couple of hours on a Sunday night. Where would you rather be? Who would you rather be doing it with?
Thank you so much. Yes, I completely agree. And we have a wild show this week.
And we couldn't do this wild show without our good friends at Juju. They are superstars on the show tonight. We're giving away a Womanizer Next Duo. Experience the power of the blended orgasm with the Womanizer Next Duo that takes you further. Get yours at Juju, joujou.com.au. We'll give that away later on in the show.
We love a blended orgasm.
We do.
Okay, so I sat down this week with Bonnie Blue. It was for Daily Mail and this show. I love my job. And I was very excited when the email came into my little email account saying, would you like an interview with Bonnie Blue?
Just explain who Bonnie Blue is. Even though she's one of the most famous adult entertainers on the planet, she's made her name by doing what?
She slept with over 1,000 men in one day. And she's been booted from Australia for 4 years.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to re-enter because she was trying to sleep with schoolies.
That was a few years ago, right? Where she was just pulling blokes in off the street to pull them off.
She purposely went to schoolies to sleep with 18-year-olds and more than pull them off.
Yeah.
She wanted to help them lose their virginity.
Yep.
The mums were up in arms. She literally got booted from Australia for 4 years.
Yep.
So, yes, I want to talk to Bonnie Blue.
Because she's got this doco, right?
She does. It's called 1,000 Men and Me, the Bonnie Blue story. And it was wild. So I was like, okay, this is, a very controversial porn star. This will be an easy interview. I've got so many questions. Perfect. So we locked it in. That was all fine. And then more emails came through. You're not allowed to talk about Lily Phillips, who's another creator who's also slept with 1,000 men. Then it came through, you're not allowed to talk about Annie Knight, who is an Australian OnlyFans creator who turns out she's got beef with. Then it came through, you can talk about money, but only if it's in terms of brand success. Snore. So you can't say, how much did you make from sleeping with 1,000 men,
Right.
which is what the documentary is about.
Yeah.
Then another email came through saying I wasn't allowed to talk about her ban from OnlyFans. So then I'm like, what the heck am I
Doesn't
going
make
to...
sense. This is someone who has literally bared it all on camera, yet you can't talk to her about any of it.
Any of it. And then I had to submit my questions. I'll submit some questions, but they were not the questions I was going to ask. And then, so all of that. And I'm going to my editors, I don't know if we even bother. This is ridiculous. And then Daily Mail UK ran a story on the Sunday. So we were still locked in for Monday to do the interview.
Yep.
Then Daily Mail UK ran an exclusive interview with her mother-in-law because, yes, she's still married.
She's still a person.
And
with
she's
a family.
a person. Yes. And the mother-in-law went to town on her. So Daily Mail did this big exclusive about the mother saying, in the divorce, you deserve to give my son plenty of your $23 million. He's been put through the ringer, blah, blah, blah. She didn't like that. So then the interview got cancelled on Monday. And I thought, okay, this is not going to happen. Then it got rescheduled Thursday. By now, I am off her.
So not keen at all.
So not keen.
See ya.
And I was like, well, what the heck am I going to talk to her about? But I was like, let's just see how this plays out. If it's shit, we'll bin it.
Your commitment to your craft is second to none, honestly.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
a
appreciate
warrior.
it. I
You
am
know
a
that?
warrior. I'm
And
just
you
doing God's
deserve
work.
to be applauded for what you're out there doing.
I appreciate
Well
you.
done.
Thank you so much.
You're so
that means
welcome.
a lot. So I kept thinking this interview was going to get cancelled. So I didn't really bother watching the documentary. But sure enough, last Thursday, I got the big green tick. It's definitely happening. So I was like, oh, God, I've got to watch this documentary. Now, I was hopping on a flight from Sydney to Brisbane. It was the only time I could sit still and watch this documentary before the chat. So I watched the documentary on the plane.
How graphic is said documentary and how full was said flight?
Packed, and I was in the middle seat.
Oh, no.
I was between a grandma and a woman who was probably about 45. And I'm holding my iPhone watching this documentary. It's a documentary. It's not porn, except it kind of was porn.
Because there's nothing more awkward than when you're just watching a movie on a flight and a sex scene comes off.
Oh
You're like, ugh, and you're trying to like shield it because I don't want everyone to think I'm a creep. And you're just watching a doco about a porn star.
A porn star, and there was so much porn in this documentary, so much porn.
Shock horror.
And so for the hour flight, I'm just squirming, but I have to watch it because it's the only time I'm going to watch it. The grandma looked over at me at one stage and had a visceral reaction. Like she was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so sorry, but I have to get to the end.
This is for work.
Turns out the guy behind me was watching the whole time.
He loved it.
Because then we got off the plane, he was like, oi, oi, oi. And I was like, oh God, you think I'm a dirty perv. So we got to the interview. I ignored the whole thing about you're not allowed to ask this, you're not allowed to ask that. I was like, listen, if they cut me off, that makes for a juicy article I can write on Daily Mail. Bonnie Blue cut off the interview. So I was like, just go hard. Let's see where it goes. It went really well. I don't know who was sending all those question bands because she answered every question I asked. And I hate to say it, I quite liked her. She's actually a cool chick. Thank you so much, Bonnie. I flew from Sydney to Brisbane today, and I watched your documentary on the plane.
Honestly, I couldn't believe how much sex was in it.
I know. It was, and they really kept it up to the point, like where I was like, oh, we're going to watch the whole thing. But
yeah, when I watched it, I had my family with me, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Well, not embarrassing, but like, my toes was curling. I was like getting really sweaty palms. I was thinking, oh my gosh, please, can they change can it go to a new scene now?
Yeah, it was a lot more than I was expecting, but bravo for putting it out there because I loved that there was light and shade, and what impressed me most about it was that it's a real business. It's a real brand. And it takes, because I think there's so many girls who go, I don't need to go to uni. I'm going to start an OnlyFans and then I'll buy a house within a year. And I think what we're all learning is, no, you've got to have that hustle. You've got to have that grind. You've got to have that kind of CEO mentality to back it up. So I wanted to know, what are some of the expenses that surprised you getting into this arena?
I mean, even as a small creator, STD tests are expensive. Like a full panel in the UK is like £430, which is like 800 and something dollars in Australia.
Wild.
And even when I was in Australia, it was like 250 Australian dollars, which is, when you're a small creator and your income is very low, and it's something you're doing every 2 weeks, it's expensive. So I think even as a small creator, that is something which it can add up because you're not guaranteed to earn money. Like you said, it looks like it's really easy. It's not. A lot of people have OnlyFans and Fansy, a lot more people than what you think. And you're not that different to most people. You've got a boobs and vagina, you're having sex. Yes, a lot of people do it. It's not crazy. I can remember all the honey bidet outfits. I used to think, oh my God, you have to have a honey bidet outfit.
Yep.
You were like, if you ever go to honey bidet, that's where the sex workers are. You're there spending all your money.
Me and them, the sex columnist and the sex workers.
Yeah.
I also found like the fact that you had to have a publicist and a designer and a videographer. I know anyone thinks they can stick an iPhone up on the wall and go for gold. But there was so much more that I watched the documentary and went, God, I've never actually looked into, yes, you get a lot of money, but you've also got to spend a lot of money to kind of get to that level. Do you?
Sure, like for my good quality content, I have a videographer, I have a photographer, someone who helps me edit content. I have people that help me, organize these events. Because it's one thing saying you want to do it, it's another thing actually making it happen. So yeah, there's a lot of things I do, and I'm happy to invest back into the business as opposed to just expecting to upload, blurry photos and blurry videos and hope for the best.
That's what I think. And it's so funny because you think, oh, I could do that. Oh, it'd be easy. And anyone who's ever filmed themselves having sex, the first time you watch it is mortifying.
I looked like that. I was like, People are gonna be just asking me for therapy sessions after they watch that because it wasn't the best. Bear in mind, like, some of my videos are still just filmed on an iPhone, and it's very basic. But then sometimes it's a full-on camera crew. It's to a certain degree scripted, and yeah, there's always a lot that happens. It's not just sex. I don't just walk down the street and I happen to suddenly have a full, production team and it's being filmed.
Yeah. So you've still got to have that authenticity about it as well. Okay. And I was thinking, because I was like, well, what happens the day where we're not shocked anymore? Like there's you lose that shock factor. And watching you kind of direct that scene, the school scene, I was like, I think that's your next step. I think you've got this incredible creative brain that sees things and comes up with ideas that are fresh and unique. And like that scene you did with this in the school wasn't that shocking, but it was really creative. And I was thinking, well, what's your future goals? Is it to kind of get behind the camera or to mentor other girls? Like, what's the plan?
Um, I don't think I could ever mentor girls because what I think is a good idea and what's good for me
Mhm.
would probably break somebody else and leave them crying. And I
Yeah,
never want to be responsible for saying or encouraging, hey, do this. Like the way my business works is completely different to every other sort of fancy girl or OnlyFans person. So I would never want to be part of, I guess, an issue where I say to this girl, if you do this, it's going to go really viral and you'll earn a lot of money. Because then they might just be thinking of the money as opposed to can they handle it or are they even going to enjoy it? So
yeah,
I can do it and I can come up for ideas for myself because I know what I can handle, what I enjoy, and what I
mhm.
receive pleasure from. But I would never want to do that on behalf of somebody else. Like other content creators, and I know you would have seen it a little bit in the school. It's like, are you okay with this? If you don't feel comfortable, speak up.
Yeah,
That's fine. And I will always say that at the start of a video and even throughout, look, let me know if something's uncomfortable, you don't want to do something, please speak up. And it's hard. Some people are a bit nervous or they're a bit, intimidated because it can feel crazy at times. But long term, no, I don't think I'd ever mentor people because my ideas are pretty crazy and I couldn't ever speak, even though sometimes people say they're okay,
Mm,
mentally what I'm experiencing.
mm. That's yeah. I what I surprised me the most with the score scene was the lead guy in it. He came across really confident, but then when he was getting ready for the scene, I was like, oh, he's actually really nervous. I was
He
shocked.
he is this. I always say he's literally packing a baseball bat. It's massive down there, but he is the sweetest, caring guy you could
Huh.
honestly ever work with. Like I've done a lot of scenes with him, and he looks like a giant, and to a
Mhm.
certain degree he is. But he is non-stop asking about consent, non-stop asking about if you're okay. Do you want me to change anything? Does that hurt? Do you want me to do it slightly different? And that's what you need, especially with a male porn star, because you can feel like intimidated or you can feel like you're meant to know what you're doing. And he really puts you at ease.
Yeah, no, I found him really quite sweet. There was a lot of things that surprised me
My
about
mum
the
really likes him as well.
I had a bit of a crush on him. I'm not going to lie. I was like, he's hot. You should date him. Um, I wanted to find out what's the smartest decision you've made building your brand, like something that really shifted the game for you.
Oh, I guess obviously having a videographer, that was
Hmm.
I think that was the first person I employed was getting a videographer.
Yeah.
Just because you can capture a lot more, film a lot more behind the scenes, sort of day in the lives, and sort of show a lot more of what happens. Because it's one thing people watching my porn, but it's another thing watching the TikToks, the Instagram, and the other side of it. The funniest part, I guess, the funniest employee is having a stylist. A
Oh, yeah.
complete
I
off
love him.
the as is the money well spent.
Yeah, no, I totally got that. I was like, oh, I want a stylist. So, what safeguards do you insist on at big events that you hold, like the one at the mansion and things like that? Because the one thing I was surprised was that they weren't required to have STD tests. And I know that you really stuck to like you have to wear a condom, and there were people there to make sure they were wearing them. But is there any try like, anything you've tried or you've held a big event and then gone, okay, for the next one? Like, do you brainstorm after these things and go,
Oh,
what
you
can we do
learn
better?
so
What?
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I've done, I've learned what to do different, how to do things differently. It's like anything. The more you do something, the more you can perfect it. And yeah, from the 1,000, I was like, okay, I need it to be a bit more entertaining when people are waiting, or there needs to be a bit more going off, or maybe I need some, other like models just to be fluffing them up beforehand, or just making sure they're entertained because I want them to walk away from that day having had a good experience. And they've spent most of the time in like there was like a basement at the bottom where they did a lot of the waiting, same with the stairs. So the next time I did one, I was like, I want to make sure they're having a better time whilst waiting, or they have the opportunity to be more involved in the social media because a lot of them actually really love the idea of being in TikToks and on Instagram.
Yeah.
We had
I
the most recently to do that.
I loved that when you were going through like, okay, we've got 1,600 condoms and we've got 50 face masks. And my brain straight away went, that's not enough face masks. I feel
Yeah,
like you need more.
I think there were so many things about the day that we just not that we just didn't think about, but it was, are people going to be turning up? Have we got condoms? Okay, have we got the venue? And then there was some little things, okay, like ski masks. It was like, okay, we needed loads more of them, and we was reusing them a lot. Now they're like completely sold out on Amazon because we buy them so often.
Wow. Oh my God, I love that. Go that maybe I should have got stocks in that. Um, so they say sex work is often framed as empowering to women. Do you think it can actually put women financially ahead of men? Like, are we sitting on gold mines that we're not actually using as well as we could?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the women, like not just myself, earn a lot more than the men, even in the sex world industry.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's hard to say because yes, some women earn loads of money on, being sex workers. And then there's a lot of sex workers which barely break even. So
Yeah.
and like any job, if you're not going to put a lot of hard work in and you're going to put a lot of time in it, don't expect to come out on top because you won't. And then you can't blame the industry you're in or blame the people you're with to
Mm.
be responsible for the fact your income isn't as high as somebody else's. So, yes, I earn a lot of money, but doesn't mean that everybody else is.
Yeah.
But I always think back to when I first started, like when I first started, it was purely for money. There's nothing else I could have done to earn the amount of money I did, one so quickly, and I used my body in the STD test, which is $250, I think it is in Australia,
Mhm.
and then I've got a business model.
That's
you
so
know,
true.
like yes, you can have your fancy things like having a stylist and a videographer and all of that things, which is great. But to actually start the business, you need a phone, which everyone's already got, basically, an STD test, and a razor is probably preferred.
I don't know. I hate that the hair is coming back. Who was it? Girth. I had Girth Master on last week, and he was like, "No, hair is back," and I was like, "Well, sorry to be
But they
late."
do it all like nicely. Like, so I thought at one point, okay, I'll try like a landing strip, I think it was. And mine was so uneven. I was like, okay, by the time I was leveling it out, it was just like one strip that was completely off to the left. So I was like, I might as well just shave this off.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's so much easier. There was one thing you said. So we're all about kinks, and I went to this orgasm retreat earlier this year, and the whole point of it was because women are so used to performing for men that we actually don't focus on what our kinks are. And so this whole retreat was to introduce us to a whole heap of kinks and away from men, figure out, oh, what do we actually like? Because we can't help it. We get in front of men and we start performing. And you said this one line in the doco where you were like, my kink is gangbangs. That's genuinely my kink. When did you realize that was your kink? And when you do something so much you actually get sick of it. Are you sick of them yet?
No, definitely not sick of them yet. But yeah, I know what you mean about women performing. And I think that's why they don't have a high sex drive a lot of the time because they don't realize what they're enjoying. And I think because men physically come, it's a lot easier to get focused on them as opposed to yourself.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, my first gangbang happened by mistake at spring break. I'd been having sex all day, and then there was still 19 people left waiting. And I just sort of said to him, "Look, I want to go to bed soon. Do you want to all come at the same time?" There was all from the same frat house, and they was all laughing, having a good time, and it was like a social thing just as much as it was sex. Like sex, yes, is about pleasure, but it doesn't always have to be really like sexy or like, you know, candle lit and like it doesn't have to be that. Like this was my first gangbang and it was laughing, people was high-fiving. Some of them was finishing really quickly and others was lasting a long time. And that's when I really realized like it doesn't have to be this like I mean, a gangbang being surrounded by loads of men, I used to think would be intimidating or daunting, or it would just be so focused on trying to push as many, dicks in you as possible that you was forgetting about the pleasure. And it really
Yeah.
wasn't that. It was, I was laughing just as much as I was, receiving pleasure. And that really changed my mind on sort of gangbangs. And I realized, okay, I
Yeah.
enjoy this and I want to do more of it.
I love what you say about laughing as well, because we think we have to get in the room and we have to be all sexy, but I
I
find the
am not
most
sexy
fun.
at all. Like, there'll be
I
times
don't
where
know.
it's even when I think of like porn stars or sex, you think of having to be like really sexy, putting on a voice. And don't get me wrong, I do say some porn star lines and you know, but aside from that, it doesn't need to be like that. It's meant to be smiley, it's meant to be a happy experience. And
Yeah.
for me, trying to be more of like the sexy side of things, I'd end up stumbling on my words and the whole thing would just it'd all come out wrong and it'd make their dicks go soft straight away. So me having a good time in the bedroom is more sexy than me trying to be sexy.
Yeah, I think we can all take a tip away from that because we do get too busy trying to be the Marilyn Monroes when my
Yeah.
best bonding experiences has been having a giggle in the bedroom as well. Yeah,
When you
okay.
feel most relaxed, that's when you're gonna enjoy yourself the most. But it
Yeah.
is hard, especially if you're having more one night stands or you've just started dating a person, you feel like, oh my God, I need to offer them the best experience, or they need to think I'm really, really good, or like I really know what I'm doing. And even now, if I was to go on a date and have sex with someone, I'd be nervous because everyone is so
Really?
different. 100%. Like, just because I know what I'm doing with one person
Mhm.
doesn't mean what you're doing with another person. Like everyone wants different things and they enjoy different rhythms. Some people like it hard, slow, a good grip and a soft grip. Like you have to just be relaxed and listen to sort of their body and the way they're reacting to different things you're doing.
And what's it like dating in your line of work? I find it hard dating even just as a sex columnist. Men are like, you write about sex. What's it like dating? Because you're around men so much, can you suss out a guy pretty quickly? How do you date in your job?
I don't really date at the moment. It's not something I'm sort of focused on. Like, I obviously have a lot of sex. I've got a good group of people around me. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on like a boyfriend. Like, I get to do all the things I want to do all the time anyway. If I was in my old job before, and I felt a bit more isolated, then maybe
Mm,
I'd be thinking, okay, well, I need a partner because I want to go and travel the world. I want to do different things. I need a boyfriend to do that. But I get to do them stuff anyway, so I'm not missing out on anything not having a boyfriend. But I think when it comes to dating, I'm gonna find it, hard because of what I do.
mhm,
And also obviously the dating world, like I said, is hard for anybody. And whether you
mhm.
are a sex worker, you're writing about sex, or you have a 9 to 5 job, it is it is hard.
Jungle. It's a jungle out there. Um, One thing I noticed in the documentary was they were showing lots of TikToks of these people who did have strong opinions on you.
Yeah.
Does it get exhausting having people trying to dissect your personality, or they're trying to how did I word it? Diagnose you? Because
Yeah.
yeah, I was a bit like, oh, can we give it a break? Is it exhausting people going, well, she must have this, or she mustn't experience empathy, or she mustn't experience feelings? What's that like?
It's just boring now. It'll be, oh, I looked a certain way when I said I was happy, so it means I'm not happy. Oh, I blinked when I did this, so it means this. And it's like, look, it doesn't. It's as simple as I enjoy it. I know you hate the idea of it, but I enjoy it. I have fun. I love my life. I am very happy. There's no trauma, no daddy issues. But everyone wants there to be something. Everyone's trying to dig to the point where they make stories up. They'll say her eyes look like this because she's dead behind the eyes and she's covering something up. And it's really not the case. And I understand. And I always say, look, you don't have to agree with it. You can have your opinions, and that's completely fine. But that does not mean I am damaged. It's everyone's got different interests, and it really is as simple as that. And especially women, sometimes they dig too much or they overthink to the point where it's
Yes.
something is as simple as I like this, you dislike it. There's no bigger meaning. How can
Mm-hmm.
I accept that? No matter how many times I say it or I word it or I express it, it's okay, she's lying. She's covering something up. And yeah, it just really becomes boring. And it's the same questions as well as your family don't support you, your family don't love you. Oh, and then if they do realize my family do support me, they're like, oh, your family is lying. And it's like, okay, yeah, of course you know my family more than me. Yeah, like I don't know anything. I'm just traumatized and have daddy issues.
Oh God, I know even dating. It's so interesting now going on dates and guys straight away they try and subtly slip it into conversation. Oh, are you close to your dad? What's your story? I'm like, oh God, we're all just diagnosing each other in real
Yeah, I
life
was
now.
interested the other day. I was like, maybe I should set up a Hinge profile. Um, but I don't know if it'd be if it'd be any good.
I think you'd be on it for 30 seconds and then everyone would report you as fake. I feel
Maybe I
like
should give it a go.
yeah, you need to get the little blue tick. There you go. You need to. I think you'd be very popular because when I told people that I was interviewing you, every man I know collectively lost their mind. So you've definitely got some offers if you need them. But then how
If they're
does it?
really handsome, send them my way, please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can probably be spit sisters. Spit sisters with half of Sydney. Um, then how does it feel like with everyone diagnosing you? How does it then feel? Because I'm sure you've had like old school friends. I get it myself. Every guy I know is like, I dated that sex columnist. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. What's it
Yeah.
like to have people come out of the woodworks and give these, like this documentary was so good at your narrative of your life and what it's really like. And credit to you, you didn't hold back. Like you did show the good and the bad. What's it like when people do come out and try and publicly change your narrative?
Um, it's just tiring and boring to be honest, because that isn't what's happened, that isn't the case. And I just feel sorry for them people. Like it's happened even recently. And I just think, do you not have something better to do? Do you not have something you want to go and spend your time doing as opposed to reporting me to a journalist with a fake story?
Mhm.
Um, but unfortunately, a lot of people are unhappy, and instead of looking in the mirror and blaming themselves or taking responsibility for their life that they're not happy with, they blame somebody else, and that person ends up being me just because I'm out there, and it's an easy person to blame, to be honest.
Yeah, I find that with trolls a lot when they come at you. I never take it personally because I think, oh, you're just in a bad headspace. And it's like when you cut someone off at traffic and they lose their shit. And it's like, that's not about me. That's because you got into a fight with your wife today and I just came into your line and you went crazy. The biggest surprise for me from this documentary was that your one of your goals is to be on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah. Honestly, it still is. Obviously, at the moment, I'm banned from Australia, so I can't
Yes.
want it anytime soon. But when I was a kid, there's not many things I dreamed about or said I wanted to do. But I was
Mm.
like, I really want to go on I'm a Celebrity, like get me out of here.
Of
I
all
don't
the
know what it is
reasons.
about it, but I always loved the idea of it.
And so, do you think you will ever be allowed? How I didn't even know you could get banned from Australia. How did you get banned? And do you think they'll change their mind?
Um, I mean, but basically with Australia, you can get banned. You don't have to actually break a law or a rule, which like comedians in the past, politicians have been banned,
Yeah.
which I didn't know about. So a petition got started to say get Bonnie Blue banned from Australia. Um, and in the petition, it said I slept with people that was underage, people that wasn't consenting, they was under the influence and all this stuff, which was completely not true. So I dismissed it. I was like, okay, well, why should I be bothered by this petition? This petition hit. It's like over 25,000 signatures in less than 24 hours. And then a few days later, it escalated. And the last time I saw it was over 40,000. And then the next minute I knew, I had a journalist phoning me asking if I wanted to comment on the fact I was banned from Australia. I hadn't received any email at this point, didn't know, still don't know how the journalist knew before I knew. Shortly after that, I received an email to say I'd been given a 4-year ban.
4 years.
4 years. So that was in November. So yeah, so we've got 3 and a bit years left.
Okay, well, I hope you come back with a literal bang. I think
if I ever came back, I'd come back, do the craziest gangbang, and then get given a permanent ban. Yeah.
Drop mic. Bye. The final question I want to ask you is, there was a part in the documentary where you said you're actually looking for that tap out moment where you go, oh, I've reached my point now. This is where I tap out. Have you got close, or do you have an inkling to what that might be?
No, not yet. I want to, and it's not because I want to hurt myself or anything like that, but I'm just intrigued to know at what point I'm like, okay, no, this is enough. I need a break.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a gangbang in the US, and that was a lot of male porn stars, and I underestimated that because I've done 1,000, so I was like, what's 50 to 100? Like it's fine, but it's very different when you're sleeping with porn stars with massive penises that know what they're doing, and when you say hard, they know they really know how to go hard. So I thought maybe I would have tapped out then, but I was able to enjoy it. I handled it very well. I switched positions if I ever felt like, oh, that's becoming a bit uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what my tap out will be yet. I do want to find it. I think it's like an athlete. If they never ran their full speed, they'd always want to know what was their best time. And for me, I want to know where those limits lie.
Yeah, I think that's what shocked me the most, that you were more surprised with the professionals being more exhausted than you were with the 1,000
Yeah.
men. I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. But then chatting to Girthmaster last week, and you're doing a triathlon. Like it's quite impressive, and the men do have to last a long time. He did break my heart. He said he's never been deep throated. I was like,
I know. I mean, the size of him and how thick it is, I don't think he ever will.
no. Best of luck. We sent him love and light for the deep throating.
Nothing someone with a big throat.
Yeah, exactly. He said women have got close, but never far. So pray for Girthmaster. Thank you so much for chatting to me. I've absolutely adored it, and keep doing you. Fight the good fight, and here's to more open conversations about women enjoying sex.
Good. Well, I'm really, really grateful for the conversation. So thank you.
This is Saucy Secrets on Kiss. It's the confessional booth you didn't know you needed, with your no-filter sex and dating columnist, Jana, all thanks to Juju.
Yes, and I am putting to bed one question I get asked at least 3 times a week from men, and it's driving me insane, and I think you've all got it wrong. So basically, everyone wants to know, men want to know, do women care about your penis size? Does it make a difference? Are we expecting big ones? Why are we all obsessed with it?
Blokes are asking you this multiple times a week.
Every week I get asked about dick size. And so I did end up writing an article about it. This one was for the New York Post, and I put it to bed once and for all because the last time I was in New York, I was feeling a bit randy. So I sent a you up text to a guy I had met at a bar the previous week. He was a short king. He was like 5, I reckon he was about 5'6", he had a beautiful beard, gorgeous eyes. and I wanted to shag him. So
Why not? When in New York, right?
when in New York, it was my last night. I sent him a you up text and he came over. This man was carrying an anaconda in his pants.
Short King was a long king.
Short King was a long king.
Right.
And I was not expecting that. So down he zipped his pants.
Frum as he hit the ground.
Boom, it hit the ground. And I was just like, oh God, what am I going to do? So we tried some breathing exercises. We did a lot of foreplay,
So he's like the
foreplay.
only bloke in the history of the world that hasn't sent you a dick pic beforehand. Because you get a lot of those too, don't you?
Oh my God, I get so many of those. But like if anyone could, he should, because
Yeah.
it was impressive. We tried, I would say, for about 45 minutes to make this happen. In the end,
Jeez, that kills the romance, doesn't it?
it wasn't cute. It was like, what if we try it from this angle? Oh no, okay, maybe put your ankle up here. Oh no, it was a disaster. We ended up ordering ramen and watching The Traitors, which by the way, The Traitors
What's
is
The
the
Traitors?
best show
What's The
ever.
Traitors?
Oh my God, it's so good. So it's like these guys in the castle and they're all going against each other. Like one's a traitor and you've got to figure
Oh, traitor with a T. I thought we were traders. It was like a swap meet or something like that. Hang on, back to the bloke with the big dick.
traitors. My warm-up words are Bonnie Blue and now it's going to be traitors. Okay, so we ended up eating ramen, watching Traitors, and having a cuddle. It was a disaster. And here's why I want to say to men, you all think we want a big one. We do not want a big one.
Netflix and no chill.
Like,
Just the
pour
Netflix.
one out for that poor man who thought he was having sex that night and ended up watching me watch Traitors with ramen. It was a disaster. And here's why, men, you really need to get over it. Because
I don't like the way that you're looking at me as you say that.
it really fires me up because I've discovered that men with big penises are kind of like models. Models don't need to work on their personality. They've got beautiful faces. Men with big penises don't bring much to the bedroom. I've had the best sex with men with small ones. Little peckers. They put in so much effort. They know how to use their fingers. They know how to use their tongues. They really work hard on foreplay. And I think they are severely underestimated in this world of sex.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
And it's the motion in the ocean. No matter what size penis you have, just learn how to use it and get really good at foreplay.
So it didn't fit anywhere downstairs.
No, we tried.
Did you
Did I
I'm
give
pointing
him
to my
head?
yeah, that. Yeah, I'm glad you said it. Did you put it in your mouth?
I tried. I really tried. I swear that man was going to give me lockjaw.
Nothing
it
worked.
was not- he didn't even get a proper blowjob. No, that poor guy. And do you know what was so cute? He was like, "Don't worry, this has happened before. I'm so used to it." Bless him. Him and Girthmaster. Never been deep-throated. Now, earlier this year, MC, I posted a reel on Instagram that I thought was funny. It was just something I resonated with, and it went nuts. I think we're up to 6.4 million views at the moment. It's had over 50,000 shares. I want to share it with you and get your thoughts.
So I have a question. Does anyone actually like the bzz, 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 or the bzz, 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 bzz? Or do we all just like the bzz and the bzz?
Okay, so all right, explain it. Explain what you mean.
So a lot of men didn't get what I was talking about, but every single female did. Basically, your average vibrator really only needs two speeds. It needs bzzz or bzzz. We don't need the bzzz, 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 bzzz. They're a waste of time. There are too many vibrator companies overthinking what a woman wants. So I discovered my love of vibrators during lockdown.
Right.
It was cold. It was lonely. I couldn't catch a dick. And there had been one in my drawer. I got sent one on my 21st birthday. I know, it was like yesterday. But it's
Yeah, that was
that-
last week, wasn't
Right?
it? Because you're only 21 now. 21 in 1 month, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it really only stayed in my drawer for like a month.
Yeah, obviously.
But it was pink and it was sparkly. And I never got it. I was like, why would I want to shove plastic down there when I can have the real thing? Okay, well, it took till lockdown to figure out exactly why I want to shove plastic down there because I didn't surface for quite a while. It was amazing. So I thought we could go through all the different sex toys on offer because they can be overwhelming.
And would you say that clearly sex toy use has become more and more common, whereas once upon a time it was somewhat taboo and probably not spoken about, whereas now, as you say, there's products literally everywhere.
Yeah, well, I was scared of it because in Sex and the City, Samantha was literally using a shoulder massager.
Not a documentary, that's not real. That's a dramatisation for TV.
It is a documentary. But I found that way too overwhelming.
And look, maybe if there's someone watching on YouTube right now or listening and they've sort of considered getting a sex toy, but they don't really know where to start or what might be right for them, it's a good way to give them some information to help get them the right product.
Exactly. So what I would do if I was one of these women, and is what I did in lockdown, was I got myself a bullet. It's so cute. It's like teeny tiny. It vibrates on your clitoris and it's just heaven. It does what a penis can't do. It provides like just a nice little pulse. You can put it in your pocket. You can put it in your purse for when you have nights away. And it just gives you a really easy orgasm.
Okay.
You're not fiddling around. You're not trying to get it in certain places. It's a really good starter option.
Okay.
From there, you want to go to the wand. Now, the wand is longer. It's still designed for the outside. So a lot of men think that women orgasm from insertion. No.
You mean men have it wrong in the bedroom? I don't believe it at all.
I don't want to shock you. But most women come from clitoral stimulation. So the next step up from a bullet is the wand. And the wand is curved. We've got one here. And you can play around with it a little bit more. You can go a little bit under. You can come up top. I find I orgasm better when it's placed at the top of my clit. But everyone's different. That's why we're all unique and fabulous. But this one's got curves, so you can kind of bend it around and find your favorite G-spot. But it's still on the outside.
Right.
We haven't even inserted yet. Then you want to go to the temperature ones. So we're still on the outside, but these are fabulous. And these are ones you can use with a man.
And that's something that makes a difference, temperature.
Oh my God. So way back when, Dolly Doctor was a thing.
Yes.
This is where I first discovered it. And she was really into women getting ice cubes and playing around with ice cubes in the bedroom because it just... it wakes you up really quickly, but it feels really good. So there's ones on the market at the moment. Juju do have some, and they're all about temperature play. So instead of bringing like an ice cube and then getting all the bed wet and it all just not being sexy, you can get ones at the moment and they heat up on your clit, or men like them kind of around their balls. Like they're very sensitive areas. So you can either warm it up down there or you can make it really icy cold. And we've got so many little feelings down there. And this, rather than just like the friction of wham bam, this really enhances everything down there and makes you feel alive. So temperature play is definitely something you want to get into. And then you've got the proper dildos that are inserted. And I'm not really into those personally. A lot of women are. They're really designed for women and men whose G-spot does tend to be inside.
Yep.
And with those, they're also amazing because I'm so sorry, MC, but unlike a penis, it doesn't vibrate.
Doesn't go limp either after however long that person can last for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These were designed for women who want to orgasm. So they vibrate inside. So yes, they're going in and out, but they're also vibrating and hitting those G-spots. I'm sorry. Better than a man ever could. And do you know what? A lot of men like them as well. So they can go inside a lady, they can go inside a man. But the one vibrator that my friends and I have a WhatsApp group message
Inspired
about
by a vibrator.
is inspired by a vibrator. We've had so many discussions about it. Juju does have one. It's called the Womanizer, but basically any vibrator with a suction. So this blows air on your clit to make it feel like you're getting oral, but then it also sucks it up as if it's like sucking. It's like getting oral, but from a cute little purple machine instead of a man. I still prefer the bullet, but all my friends
This is the
prefer
go-to.
the clitoral stimulator that blows air and sucks. So they're your baseline ones.
But you can't go, by the sounds of things, you can't go wrong.
You cannot go wrong.
Ditch the blokes. They're a waste of time. They whinge, complain, don't know anything in the bedroom, and get one of these bad boys from Juju.
I've never looked back.
I feel like we probably need to give away one of these bad boys from Juju right now.
Okay, let's
do
do this one,
the
which all
Womanizer
my friends
Enhance, small toy, big finish. The Womanizer Enhance uses suction, as you said, to pull you into toe curling O's. Buy now, Juju, joujou.com.au, or we want to give it away.
Yeah.
So if you want one, kiss.com, send us your deets. We might be able to send you the Womanizer Enhance.
love. Highly recommended.
On that note, that brings us to the end of yet another episode of Saucy Secrets. As always, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a dream. Let's see what next week brings.
Saucy Secrets.